Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And if you notice I'm wearing the same shirt, well, that's because we're picking up right where we left off from the last video. This is just a continuation. I'm knocking out two birds with one stone. Peter, don't come for me. Um, but I wanted to talk a little bit about this conversation. Is Star Citizen a scam? And I've never talked about this on the channel before because I kind of figured it is what it is. I'm not going to be able to convince everybody, and I'm not going to try to in this video either. But I'm just going to kind of give you my thought process and give you my take on the situation. What do I think about this whole topic of is Star Citizen? So let's just get right into it. Now, is Star Citizen a scam? Well, before answering that question, I kind of want to explain where I think that terminology comes from. And personally, I think it comes from a number of factors. And we're going to start off with factor number one, which I think is the referral program. I want to talk about that a little bit to kick things off, because someone left a comment in another one of my videos kind of asking about the code that I have in my video description. And that code is essentially a referral code. It's a code that CIG gives everybody on the account, allows them to refer a friend, and when they refer a friend, the friend gets in-game credits, and the player who owns the code gets a point on the referral program. And the referral program is point-tiered program which gives you rewards based on how many referrals you have. So the more referrals, or essentially the more people who buy the game using your referral code, that gives you a point on the referral program, and you can get rewards on this tier list. And the highest reward that you can get from the referral program is the Javelin. It's a very expensive, very big ship, but I think you need something like 10,000 referrals to get that. I haven't checked in a while. I don't really pay attention to the referral program too much. I mostly just have my code down there. If you want to buy Star Citizen and you want to get extra starting money, really, it does not matter to me. I do not care. But if you guys want to use it, you guys can use it to pick up the game. Now, why a lot of people compare the referral program to a pyramid scheme is that the referral program incentivizes players to essentially market this referral code and get new players in. It's like, hey, use my referral code, you get extra starting money, and the player who is essentially advertising Star Citizen for CIG gets a reward. So a lot of people look at this as a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme. But there are some stark differences between a Ponzi scheme and a referral program. And you guys are smart. I know you know how a pyramid scheme works. One guy markets this BS product to another guy. Another guy markets this BS product to another guy. And every time they get a new guy in this program, they get a kickback, essentially. That's basically a pyramid. So it starts with one guy gets in two guys gets in four guys gets in, and the guy who starts all of it gets the most kickbacks, because essentially everybody who gets somebody else in under him gets a kickback, so he gets a kickback from them. And so the system is essentially infinite. As long as you can keep getting new people in, you can keep getting kickbacks. That is completely different from how the referral program works. Okay, you cannot get infinite kickbacks. It doesn't work like that. The referral program is a points system. And once you've made more than the top tier, you cannot get any more points. That's it. It's game over. You get the javelin, the full program ends. Pyramid scheme goes on forever. As long as you get in new people, you can get infinite kickbacks. The full program is not like that. There's a content creator called Ollie43. He recently got enough referrals to get the javelin, but he's still getting referrals. Those don't count for anything. He's not going to get a reward higher than the javelin. That's it. Okay. Second thing is, in a pyramid scheme, it's usually created for some kind of monetary reasons. I'm not getting any money from CIG for sharing my code with you. I'm just getting an in-game reward. And this in-game reward is non-transferable, which essentially means I cannot gift it to anybody. And if I can't gift it to anybody, I cannot sell it on the gray market. Now, what a lot of people do is that they buy items and they sell it on the gray market for a markup. You can't do that with referral bonus items because they're gifted from CIG. So that means you cannot gift it to anybody else. This item is locked on your account forever. The only way for you to sell this item is to sell your whole account, and that is against TOS. If you sell your account, that account can be banned forever. So if you see somebody selling their Star Citizen account, do not buy it. CIG can ban you forever, and you will be out all of that money. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Don't do it. Do not sell accounts. Do not buy accounts. Stay away from that. That is bad news. Okay. So if you get the javelin, you're stuck with the javelin. You cannot sell it. You cannot get rid of it. It's yours now. So even though having a javelin is a very cool thing, there's no monetary value in getting that. So people who share their full code and they get things, what they can do is they can upgrade the ships on that they do get as rewards to other things. But again, because the ship that originated the item was a gift, they are now stuck with whatever ship they upgraded it to. So for instance, if I get enough referrals that CIG gives me the Gladius as a reward, I'm stuck with the Gladius. Or I can upgrade it into, let's say, an Ares Ion. I upgrade my Gladius into Ares Ion. I'm stuck with it. I can upgrade it again, but I can't gift it. I can't melt it. It's just a ship I have now. So, yes, you get rewards from the full program, but it's not a money thing. It's just CIG is giving you a gift as a reward for getting this many referrals in. I'm not getting any money from sharing my referral code. Now, as a content creator, it can be helpful because you can check out ships in the game without spending money on them. Like the Javelin, for instance. Ollie43 has the Javelin now, so now when the game comes out or when the Javelin gets added to the game, Ollie can fly the Javelin with his community, and they can, try to take control of a planet or an outpost or something like that, or whatever you would do with the Javelin. He can now do with his community. So for a content creator, it makes sense. That's why a lot of people use content creators referral code, because that gives the content creator an opportunity to review ships or check out different things that might have been very expensive to purchase with real money or take a very long time to earn in game. Their community can help them create this content by using their referral code, but it is in no way, shape, or form something that is necessary. Okay, it is just kind of like a little perk that CIG does to help people who refer a friend. Again, it's designed for the low level stuff. you buy the game, your friend wants to check out the game as well, your friend uses your referral code, they get more starting money, you might get a ship or ground vehicle. Everybody wins. So you guys get to play together and have more fun, essentially. But for the average person, no one is getting 10,000 referrals to get the javelin. That's really only something content creators can do. The average person is probably not getting 10,000. But again, the javelin is not something that you can make money on. It's locked on your account. So yeah, a pyramid scheme is infinite. I convinced 2 guys to join. Those 2 guys convinced 4 guys to join, and I keep getting kickbacks. The full program is finite. Okay, you get more people to join until you can't anymore, essentially. And once you get the javelin, that's it. And kind of the next big reason why I feel like a lot of people call Star Citizen a scam is the missed deadlines. There were a lot of promises made 2015, 2016, 2017. Really 2016 was not a great year for Star Citizen. 2017 was the silent year, essentially, where I think there was a lot of radio silence from CIG. But because of the promises that CIG made and the deadlines that they failed to meet, a lot of people thought that what CIG was doing was they were marketing this game that they never planned to make. And so they had all this fanfare and all this marketing and all this flashy stuff in 2016, and then they didn't have a lot of that stuff in 2017. And the people in that time period said, hey, wait a minute, what happened to the game? Did you guys just run away with the money? And that's why people call it a scam. But in my opinion, I feel like what happened during that time was CIG realized that they need to pivot. And the pivot is a big moment of contention in the community between what CIG originally wanted to deliver and CIG asking the community, hey, should we deliver the game that you guys said you wanted, or should we just go completely nuts and put everything that we possibly can in this game? And the community said, yeah, make it as good as you can make it. And I don't think a lot of people knew what that meant. I feel like when CIG said, should we make it as good as we could make it, or should we deliver what we originally said? And people were like, yeah, sure, make it as good as you can make it, because I want the best thing, obviously. And then CIG was like, okay, bet. See you in 10 years. And the community was like, wait, what? 10 years? So, yeah, I feel like there was a lot of people who felt like they didn't know what they were really signing up for. And they felt like, hey, this is not right. You guys weren't honest. You guys made a lot of promises. You guys didn't deliver. You guys missed a lot of deadlines. And, we're waiting for the game still. So those people, I feel like they didn't get closure from that situation. And I feel like that's where a lot of the hard feelings still stem from. Is that a lot of those people, they're still looking for closure. They expected CIG to come out and say, you know what, we messed up, we're sorry. And CIG didn't really do that. CIG really just said, okay, this is our reasons why we're taking so long, and we're just going to keep chugging on. And I respect that. CIG is trying to deliver the best possible experience they can with the tools that they have. And in my opinion, you can't really call it a scam because, if somebody's trying to scam you, they're going to put in the least amount of effort possible and say, hey, look at this, I delivered the thing, you can't be mad at me anymore. But that's not really what CIG is doing. CIG is not trying to put out a minimum viable product. They are trying to build everything. They're trying to do everything that they originally promised that they were going to do. Like Salvage, it took a very long time for Salvage to be added to the game, but now that it's added to the game, it is in a pretty good state. It's in a very good state, actually. And that's because they took their time. If somebody was to scam you, they wouldn't build 5 studios. Two of their studios are like very well updated. They built their own motion capture studio in one of them. I'm still waiting on the studio tour. Come on, Seiji, where's that? But yeah, I think they updated the Germany studio and they updated the studio in England, and they're hiring a lot of people. They have like 1,000 devs now, and you wouldn't really hire 1,000 devs if you're trying to scam someone, because 1,000 developers is very expensive. And so that essentially means that the money that you're getting is just going back into the project. And if you're trying to scam someone, you wouldn't take the money that you got from the person that you're scamming to reuse it to scam them. You would just take the money and put it in your pocket. So the fact that CIG is putting in the effort to deliver the game to deliver actually a game that is better than they originally promised. But again, it's just going to take a very long time to do that. And in that interim, it's going to not feel great. It's going to be very buggy. It's going to be a lot of waiting for features. You're going to have to like unlearn certain things. I mean, that's kind of like the biggest setback, is a lot of people, they get used to certain gameplay loops, and then CIG updates because new features come online and they have to kind of unlearn that, or the game gets rebalanced or something like that. So there's kind of like this expansion and contraction that you have to deal with if you're playing the game right now. But in my opinion, that is not really the definition of a scam. Okay, it is, pretty obvious to me that CIG is putting the work in to deliver the product. And for years CIG hasn't been profitable. I think the last 2 years CIG did make a profit, and that profit, that money is just going back into the game. They're using that money to finish building the studios, to hire more developers. So every year the money that they're spending goes up. It's not like, oh, we made a profit, let's fire some people and make that gap bigger. No, they're like, oh, okay, we made a profit, let's spend more. And so that to me is kind of indicative of somebody who is actually trying to deliver what they say they are. So in that sense, I don't think that's a scam. That to me, is not a scam. But again, I think people call it a scam or Ponzi scheme because there wasn't any closure from what happened around 2016 2017 time. And so there might be still some hard feelings there, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is entirely possible to feel scammed by a situation, and in a big sense about it, it is logical. CIG said that they were going to deliver something, and they haven't yet. They said they were going to meet a deadline, and they did meet that deadline. So you can feel lied to in that situation. You can feel like taken advantage of or whatever. I don't know. So if you feel like that, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't have anything against you. You know, take your time, wait till the game comes out or is more finished, or wait until CIG delivers on whatever promise that you feel like they need to deliver on. That is totally understandable, in my opinion. You know, I know I have friends who have had, you know, bad customer service experiences, and they're like, I will never buy from that company again. And that's understandable. I haven't had those bad customer service experiences, so I still buy from those companies. And it's just one of those things, you know. I can't convince my buddies to buy from that store again. You know, that's kind of up to them. That's between them, you know, and the store. And the same thing is true with Star Citizen, in my opinion. You know, I've had a good experience with the game, but that doesn't mean you have. And if you had a bad experience with the game and you don't want to play it anymore, that's totally fine. That's your business. That's between you and CIG. I'm not going to try to convince you to spend your money. You spend your money however you want to spend your money. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Star Citizen is a scam, Ponzi scheme, whatever? I haven't really talked about this before in other videos, but I feel like might as well. A lot of new people are coming to the game. They deserve the truth, and to kind of better understand why so many people are calling it a scam. And in my opinion, those are the reasons why I think people call Star Citizen a scam. So yeah, like I always say, you guys, like this video if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Salute.